And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
Buckle up and don't look behind you. And really buckle up for this one because there's a lot of driving at nighttime.
Do all of the buckling up.
A lot of driving down the middle of the road at nighttime.
Hella driving. Well, in the wise words of Bodies, today's episode is a podcast about hanging out with your smartest and funniest podcast friends. So today we are joined by Britt from 1001 by 1. How you doing today, Britt?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. I'm on vacation right now, so I have been sleeping in and staying in bed and watching a lot of movies, including the movie we're going to talk about today, and it has been glorious. How are you both? Thank you for having me again so soon after Cure. I felt very honored to be included on this episode.
As you should, but truly, there was no one else that we could ask to come on the David Lynch episode.
I mean, I did strong arm you guys into it in the last episode when I was like, I can't wait to talk about Lost Highway. And basically, if you hadn't invited me, I would have stalked you. Absolutely. And been very, very upset. So I appreciate it.
Luckily, no stalking was needed because I love this fucking movie. So I've been itching to cover Lynch in some way, shape, or form on the podcast, and we did talk about it on another podcast that we were on, and they did not like it. So I was like, I need to cover it on mine because I can control the narrative, and that is that we will all like it.
You know, I can understand. I do think Lost Highway is a tough hang at times. Mm-hmm. I guess this will probably come up later, but I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I really didn't. And I can go into that more in detail later. But I can understand. I think this is a movie that you need to watch like 4 times before you really start to appreciate it, honestly. I think this merits rewatching every year.
I think it definitely merits a lot of rewatching.
It merits a lot of meditation, almost.
Yes.
Like I think like while watching it the first time, I felt odd about it, but upon like, you know, an hour later looking back, I was like, no, I get it. I really like that. And then days later, weeks later, you're like, no, Lost Highway is great. So then upon a rewatch, it was good to be like, there are parts that slow down and parts that I'm like not fully into. But once again, that hour afterwards, I was like, no, it's fantastic. Like, it's this weird thing where it's better looking back at than I think it is even during.
Well,
yes.
I think now that I've seen it several times during, I'm full in. But yeah, I do think, like, the first 1 or 2 times, you're like, holy shit, I need to do so much thinking about that to, like, enjoy it. But...
And for those struggling, talk to me once you've watched Inland Empire. Right?
I have no idea what's happening there.
To be perfectly honest, I'm a huge fan of Inland Empire.
Oh, me too.
I think it's brilliant, and it's one I'll watch. I don't think I'll watch it honestly, I haven't watched it for about 3 years. I probably won't watch it for another 3 years, but I anticipate I'll watch it every 5 or so years because I think it's so important. And David Lynch is not going to do what you expect him to do, and that is what I appreciate about him so much.
What
R.I.P.
I was going to
my
say... I know. Oh my God. What I was going to say is I do feel like with a lot of David Lynch, the first watch is definitely tough. I think all of his films reward multiple viewings, but I think most of them are just like a struggle in some way, shape, or form.
They require your full attention. Definitely. You're going to get the most out of it if you are paying attention. And I think they have this weird combination of you need to have your brain on and off. You have to have the right parts on. You can't be trying to solve it because trying to solve it while you're watching it isn't going to reward you with anything, but experiencing it is what will. And then you can think about it after. But I find that when people are trying to understand while watching, they're not having as good of a time because they're trying to like put the pieces together instead of just experiencing it. I think he would probably say the same thing.
Well, that's like I took a friend to see Mulholland Drive because they were showing it at the Philly Film Festival. And she said, like, watching it, she was like, okay, like, maybe a 3. Like, but then we talked
3
about...
out of 5,
what it, out of 5.
Yeah.
And then we talked about what it meant, and then she gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. And I was like, fuck yes, bitch.
And then probably upon next watch, she'll give it a 5, because that's where Mulholland Drive should be.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. And she's a person who, like, allegedly doesn't like movies, so I'll take the 4, frankly, but
I brought my best friend to go see it, and I think I said this on the last podcast we were on, but whatever, I'll say it again. And we don't always love the same movies. Like usually if she loves something, I probably don't, or vice versa. And we went to go see Mulholland Drive together, and she had a blast during it because the entire audience was finding all of the humor within it. And leaving the cinema, she said, like, that was such a fun time. Like, I had such a good time with this movie, even though it's dealing with such dark, difficult subject matter. We had just the best time watching it in cinema. And I really do think a lot of David Lynch depends on who you watch it with and how willing you are to just kind of let it wash over you. That being said, I think that the most accessible films by David Lynch are The Elephant Man and The Straight Story.
Straight Story, yeah.
Both of those, I think you can go into it without expecting it to be exactly what you think Lynch would give you, though I think Straight Story might be the most Lynchian film that's ever existed, considering it's based on a true story. I love A Straight Story. We just saw it
for the first time, and we get to see it in 35 millimeter print.
Oh my God.
Which was pretty damn cool.
I fucking love A Straight Story. It's so good.
It's funny how people are like, oh, it's not a very Lynch movie. It's a Disney G-rated. And I was like, that had every Lynchism in it that he's put. Like, there's so many funny, absurdist moments. And I also, like, the feeling is there. Yeah. The feeling he tries to convey in all of his work is still there. I really liked it.
I think of the moment in that where the our main character goes into the general goods store and is trying to barter for the grab hand instrument he needs, and it feels like just out of Twin Peaks, right? Like it's so Lynchian, and it's like, who would expect a man to drive through multiple states on a tractor because he's too blind to be able to drive a car? My God, it's so Lynch. It's so good. We could do A Straight Story, you guys. It's totally a horror movie, right?
Well, I was going to ask you 2 questions, so I'll just throw them both at you. First, what's your favorite David Lynch film? And 2, what David Lynch films, if any, do you think could be considered horror to some degree?
I mean, this should come as no surprise, but my favorite David Lynch film is my favorite romantic comedy, which is Mulholland Drive, 100%.
Woot.
Yeah, it's just incredible. I think a lot of David Lynch films could be horror, but I also have a very, very broad idea of what horror can be. I don't think it's necessarily something that makes you scream out loud at the time or has a jump scare. I think it's really broad. So in thinking about this, I think horror could be Eraserhead. It could be Blue Velvet, Twin Peaks, the series,
Definitely.
Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Lost Highway, Mulholland Drive, and Inland Empire. And then also Twin Peaks, The Return. I think all of those are horror movies. If you want to say Wild at Heart is a horror movie because there are horrific elements to it, I wouldn't say no. There's some really awful moments in that film. I think especially with the car crash, that is horror. Just there are a lot of moments in many of his films that could be considered horror. But all of those, I would absolutely go and debate somebody to prove that they are horror.
I agree with that take. I mean, hence why we're covering Lost Highway here. We've talked about covering Eraserhead. Those are the 2 that I kind of wanted to start with. But yeah, I think many of his films have like very blatant horror elements.
Those in Twin Peaks, I think, are the easiest to argue for.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
as we said before the episode, Britt, if we're going to argue Twin Peaks is horror, then we're arguing Evangelion's horror as well. So
it is. It absolutely is horror. It is horrific. My God,
the show and the movie, all of them.
Yes, all of them, all of the movies. They are all horror. I love Matt. I just love that we always bring it back to Evangelion.
Oh, you have to. Well, I think, as I said before, Twin Peaks and Lynch actually have a lot of influence on that show.
Yes,
more than I think people realize, or they're just 2 directors and writers have similar ideas about things.
It almost kind of reminds me of Berserk and Hellraiser coming out at the same time, but and going like having similar ideologies and similar images, but like just not really having any crossover, right? Like it's somehow in this weird zeitgeist, all of these things happened at the same time. So Twin Peaks and Evangelion kind of came about at the same time. Berserk and Hellraiser came about at the same time. And it's so interesting and cool to me. And I love the juxtaposition of that.
Yeah, there we go. These are two great examples. I know everyone out there is going to be like, what does the fighting robot show have to do with like the child murder? Or not child murder, you know what I mean? The murder investigation show? Like, what?
I mean, Laura Palmer is a child. She's not an adult.
Right.
She's 17, so she's still technically a child. And she had so much more to offer the world.
I know. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to her. Rest in peace, David.
R.I.P. David. Okay, so...
Yeah, sorry, we're all over the place. But this was all good. This sets the scene. I also realized, did we even give Britt a chance to introduce where she's come from and who she's with?
We kind of just
where we can find you. We started yapping. Britt,
that's what we do.
To cut us off, give us the plug.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, everybody. I'm Britt. I am one of the co-hosts of 1001 by 1, a podcast where my co-hosts Adam and Joey and I take movies out of the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. We analyze them. We rate them. We decide whether we think they should be in the book or not. We've recently done episodes on Under the Skin and A Streetcar Named Desire. We did a draft episode where we drafted our next season, which is super, super fun. So yeah, come check us out. We're fun people who like to engage on social media. We're also on YouTube now, so check us out. You can even watch us arguing in video.
I listened to the draft episode, and there's a few that I'm pretty excited for.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I'll be ready. Speaking of Under the Skin, though, we did ask on socials, our like little question prompt for today's episode was, what are your favorite surrealist horror films? Because obviously our king, David Lynch, is known for surrealist, or as we all call it now, Lynchian films.
Yeah.
So Under the Skin was one of the answers that we received from Brenner Action. We also, K Scanlon 653 said The Empty Man, and Real Talk said Eraserhead and Begotten. So we actually did get some answers.
Begotten. That's a deep ass cut right there. Wow. I respect it. I've seen Begotten. I get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you need to be perfectly honest, but if you want to, it's like 50 minutes, so go for it.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for another day. Today, obviously, we're talking about Lost Highway, a 1997 film directed by the David Lynch, who co-wrote the screenplay with Barry Gifford. It stars Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, and Balthazar Getty, whose name I'm obsessed with. The film
I'm obsessed with his name. I'm not obsessed with his performance. I'm going to be real, but that's
okay. It's my next D&D character's name.
Balthazar Getty?
Yep.
Yes.
I know, literally. Will
he be a bard?
He very well might be. Oh, he's going to be a mechanic, so maybe an artificer. We'll see.
Oh yeah, you could, even though it's not like good for like the crossing, you could do an artificer bard just to try to be like really charismatic.
Yep.
I'm an artificer right now, and I will say it's a fun.
They're so fun.
I also think I realize I always say it. I think it's artificer, and I never say it right.
I always say artificer.
Me too.
That sounds better.
It does to me.
We're gonna stick with that.
Artificer is like really snooty. I don't like that.
I know it doesn't.
Though I do think that artificer or artificer should just be a subclass of wizard. Personally, like.
All right, no. I will not. I like this. We're not going down this tangent.
But I'm just saying. I'm
cutting it off. You know what? You might be right. I'm cutting it because this is as much as I love this direction. We got
to rein it in.
We got to rein that one in. Unfortunately. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So the film also features Robert Blake, Jack Nance, and Richard Pryor in their final film performances.
Huh.
We will be...
all for different reasons.
Yeah, so let's talk about the casting of this film. We're going to start with Patricia Arquette before we get into some of the darker casting.
Queen Patricia Arquette. Thank you very much.
Incredible. She agreed to be cast as Renee and Alice because she was interested in portraying a sexually desirable and dangerous woman, which wasn't a role that she had done before. She was uncomfortable with some of the nudity and sexual scenes that were a part of the script, but said that she did feel protected by Lynch and the film crew. They were really good about like making sure she felt comfortable and covered up when she wasn't filming. And they did film the love scene between her and Balthazar Getty that's in the desert. They filmed on a dry lake bed 20 miles outside Baker, and it was a closed set, so only key crew were allowed on it. So they definitely did their best to make her feel comfortable in this role, and she rocks. So thank you, Queen Patricia Arquette.
Her nickname was Solid Gold for a reason, because she is a queen. She is incredible in this film. And God, I wish we had a movie where it was Laura Dern and Patricia Arquette and Naomi Watts. Like, God, that would have been incredible, right? Just to get all three of the ladies together.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the darker casting. We did mention him already, Robert Blake. He plays the Mystery Man. So before we get into why this is his last film, let's talk about his look real quick. So he said he did not understand the script at all, but even so, he was given a lot of freedom with his look and like style of his character. So Lynch was like, use your imagination, show me what you got. And he decided to cut his hair short, part it in the middle, shave his eyebrows, and apply the white kabuki makeup on his face, and then dressed in all black and was like, here, this is my look. And Lynch was like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I also am like, fuck yeah, Robert Blake, you murderer who I don't support. And, you know, again, R.I.P., I guess, by Robert Blake. But fucking kills it in this role.
He is so creepy as the Mystery Man. And the look really fucking works. So you nailed it, buddy. The look
works so well.
So good.
I have to say, actors are just such a special breed of people. Mm-hmm. Doesn't understand the movie from the script, which, like, I guess reasonable, but I think you could figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
Goes, I guess this makes sense for my character. Goes with the most batshit insane look that completely works. And then goes on to do heinous shit in real life. Like, what is going on?
I think it's
in these people's brains.
It's interesting that he didn't have it like approved and was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna shave my eyebrows." What if Lynch was like, "No, I want eyebrows, but yours are gone."
Well, so I will say, from an acting perspective, as an actor, sometimes you get things that you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but the director will say something or ask you something, and you just have to dig within yourself to find a truth, even if you do not understand the script. And that's what makes it real and truthful to you. So him saying, I didn't understand it, but I was able to find something that I understood does make sense to me.
Okay. No, I see that.
I think that's why the Mystery Man works so well, because even if he didn't understand what was happening in the film, he understood his own character because he was given the opportunity to find it. Again, that being said, fuck Robert Blake. He's a terrible person.
So let's talk about why we're saying fuck Robert Blake. Britt, you'd mentioned it briefly, but he was arrested in 2002 for the 2001 murder of his wife, Bonnie Lee Bakley. I'd actually listened to a podcast episode about this before putting together that I had watched him in this movie and this was his last movie and all that. So that was an interesting realization that I had to come to.
He's an idiot.
Yeah, he's not a smart guy. He was acquitted of the murder in criminal court, but he was found liable in civil court.
Which is also a really funny parallel considering what some of Lynch's inspiration for this movie was, which we'll get to.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Matt, are you familiar with, like, the case at all, besides, like,
I read about it on Wikipedia. I know that he tried to hire some people to kill her.
Yes.
And then he also might have actually done it himself.
Well, so they went out to dinner in Studio City. They left the restaurant, went to the car, and then he was like, babe, you stay out here. I have to go back to the restaurant to get my pistol. I accidentally left it in there, which is crazy.
What the fuck?
To just like be like, I left my gun behind. So he went back, and while he was back in the restaurant, she was shot in the head while sitting in the car. And then, so he was not present when the shooting took place, so he didn't physically do it. But the pistol that he had gone back for, that like was his, was found. The police determined it was not the murder weapon, but ultimately it's assumed he paid someone to kill her.
Okay.
And like other people were like arrested and indicted for the case as well, but not guilty.
Except for in civil court.
Yeah, except for in civil court. So fun stuff. But yeah, I think we can we can make some assumptions about his guilt, aka that like he totally paid someone to kill her.
There's also there's a lot of circumstantial evidence around it, and even though it's circumstantial evidence is still evidence, and it's just really sad because then it was all over like a custody dispute, and his daughter was then left without a dad or a mom. Like that's the fucking worst part about this. Like, maybe just don't be a crazy person. I don't know. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, like let's just
put your kid
deal
first
with our marital disputes in like a civil way and not through murder.
Bill Pullman could have learned something in this movie from that, is what I'll say.
Right?
Yeah.
Bill Pullman, number one loser right there in this movie.
Well, Matt also mentioned this a little bit, that it's that murder parallels to what might have inspired the film. So in 2002, Lynch stated that he realized that he was unconsciously or subconsciously inspired by the O.J. Simpson trial when making Lost Highway, which is very, very evident. The trial itself was ongoing while he was writing the script. So you definitely can see a lot of that because, like Fred, OJ, at least during the trial, quote, seemed to have persuaded himself that he had no complicity in the crime that had been committed.
He was living his truth. It might not be the truth, but it for sure was his truth, right?
Well,
I like to remember things what do you say? I like to remember things,
right?
Not always the way they happened, but the way I remembered them.
Not necessarily the way they happened. Yeah, my own way.
My own way.
Yeah.
Which is, memory is real fallible. So, Fred, you're very wrong. Get that video camera. Like, just make some memories.
And then one other thing that you didn't mention that was inspiration or was the test run is everyone's favorite subplot in Twin Peaks Season 2. The James and Evelyn subplot was considered to be his testing grounds for this movie. So, which is a well-known hated subplot, but I think people are weak. It's not that bad. It's not that good either, but
I think that people are unnecessarily harsh on season 2 of Twin Peaks. I think it's not great, but it ends well. And just get over yourselves. I don't know. Yep. Like David Lynch had to leave for a while because he went to go make Wild at Heart, and he got a Palme d'Or for that. So good for him. Yeah. Even if I don't like Wild at Heart, like he got the Palme d'Or. So good job.
It's not my favorite Lynch film, but I like it.
I have a lot of opinions about that one.
So.
I do. Valid. I do dislike Wild at Heart quite a bit.
Oh, it's an actual dislike. Well, we can't get into that one, I don't think.
I know. Right I'm so sorry. We can't get into
You're
it.
Fine.
I would
like to know, but...
Oh, I'll tell you. I'll message you after and let you know.
Perfect.
We will be receiving an essay later.
A shameless plug, you can just go listen to our David Lynch ranking episode on 1001 by 1, and I go into it, why I am not a fan of Wild at Heart. And it has to do with David Lynch is so, he's so respectful of women in basically all of his films and violence against women, and I don't feel that in Wild at Heart. But let's continue on.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. We know me. I go on tangents. I'm the tangent queen.
No, it's good because I'm going to think about that as well. Because I agree with you on how his portrayal of women is amazing, and his portrayal of, and we'll get into that with this. So I'll hold off.
Yes.
Final fun fact. Seriously, I had to like control myself. There were so many fun facts I wanted to write down. This movie's so interesting. Lynch is just so interesting. I love that guy's brain.
We love him.
But the property that was used for Fred and Renee's mansion was part of his compound in LA. So he owned the property. And the paintings on the wall above the couch were done by his ex-wife and producer, Mary Sweeney.
I love that.
He really is always bringing people in for everything. He's got his people.
He's got his people, and I also feel like David Lynch is one of those creators that brings people in no matter what their background is together. If it's right for them, he will bring them back in, and people wanted to work with him. So he obviously wasn't that much of an asshole that people thought, I'm never going to work with him again, right?
I think he's like a well-known, wonderful person to work with.
Yes.
So it the opposite of an asshole, we could even say.
It makes me really happy to be like, this is the man that I have a tattoo for him. I love David Lynch so much, and it's nice to know that he just treated people well. And even after a divorce, he wanted to make sure his ex had their art displayed. That's so cool to me.
I know.
Fuck yeah, David Lynch. You're my god for a reason.
Yeah. They also did have to add a corridor leading to the bedroom, and the facade was remodeled with slot windows to make Fred's point of view very limited. Which tracks.
I'm thinking about that. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that whole hallway feels like a liminal space in itself, with the hallway to the red curtain, the classic red curtain.
Yes.
To then get around the corner. So
okay,
cool. So is that all our background?
Yes,
all
finally.
Right. We did it.
So we kind of already talked about our experience with this one. We can kind of skip over talking about that more and really get into the nitty-gritty here. So let's do our 15-second summaries.
I actually am prepared, so I can go first this time.
Go for it.
If you don't
mind. You're going to say what I want to say, but that's okay.
All right, you ready for me? Okay, so a guy does a heinous crime against his wife, and all terrible men just wants to pretend like it didn't happen. So he creates his own delusion while in jail, and is still so evil in the head that even his own delusion gets fucked up and breaks down around him, and then he gets executed. That's my interpretation, at least.
Beautiful. I don't necessarily agree with one of the word choices.
What was the word?
So evil. I don't think...
Maybe not evil, maybe just... You don't want to think about it.
Obviously, it would be a debatable thing.
It's debatable.
I kind of see it as he knows he's guilty, so the truth, he can't even block out the truth.
That's probably a better way to put it. I was thinking about the OJ thing of
also
that guy's evil.
Well,
but also maybe he is evil because he chose to do this
and thought he could just get away. It's his own conscience is coming back to.
Yeah, I think we can debate the evil for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's mine. So who's up?
I'll go next.
All right. When you're ready.
Okay, let's go. Fred is a musician who plays the tenor sax. He has a gorgeous but aloof wife named Renee, but he can't quite figure her out. After receiving multiple voyeuristic videotapes and a visit from Robert Blake, Renee is found dismembered, and Fred is condemned to death by the electric chair. And as he dies, Fred reimagines his life as Pete, a successful mechanic who is great with the ladies. After attempting to save Alice, who is Renee's doppelganger, Fred's dream devolves into a nightmare, and Fred realizes he will never escape his fate.
I didn't want to cut you off, but that was 27 seconds.
You know what? I'll fucking take it. I don't care. I tried, but I'll take it.
No, I think that was good.
All right. So I can put this really simply. Ready?
Yep, go.
Man murders his wife and dies at the electric chair.
Yep. Maybe.
Done, son.
We can take this movie very literally. He actually escaped from jail. And via portal.
I think this movie might not actually be about a dying dream. I think it might be about something different.
Well, I'm excited to get into it. I don't know if I think it's a dying dream or just the delusion he sets himself in for the weeks leading up.
I don't even know if it's about that. I think it might be about something completely. I don't know if any of these characters actually exist in the real world.
I like it. Well, this is called a hook, so when we get to that part...
Well...
Or do we can get right into it if we want?
Like, fuck it. Can you...
I mean, we know we like the movie, and we like the movie for all the normal Lynchian reasons.
Talk about
it. Yeah, so go ahead. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, just tell us... Elaborate, please.
Okay, so there is a theory that this is a dying man's last dream, which I think is the most, like... It is the theme and the theory of this movie that makes the most sense. But there's also a theory that David Lynch did a trilogy of Hollywood. And this is the first film of his trilogy of Hollywood.
It would be this Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And this is a movie about Hollywood that is two separate films that are being filmed simultaneously. And that Fred kind of represents how David Lynch feels stifled by the system. And Pete is what the system wants to see. And the two films will bleed together no matter what. And the ending is unsatisfactory for the creators, for the actors, for the audience, because nobody gets what they want at the end of this film. And I watched this last time. I watched it this last time today thinking this is a film about the studio system. And it made so much sense to me because we have so many different characters coming back into it that were different characters before. So that is where I went to it with this.
I think that's a great subtextual read of this. And I think that makes total sense, especially if that's either subconsciously or what he was going for while also trying to tell the story through the view of what I still think is the idea of someone repressing the horrible thing they did.
Yes, agreed.
So no,
agreed.
I think it can very easily be both of these things. Because I do think actually what we're debating about is I think textually it is about a man who is coming up with a delusion or having a dying dream. But subtextually
100%.
I completely see that. So that's fun. I am a fan.
That's where I went.
I feel like that would make sense given those themes are more obviously on the forefront of Mulholland Drive and Inland Empire. So I know that they're often considered a trilogy. So that would make sense if that is the read here.
So what's kind of interesting about that read, though, to go against it slightly, is that so many of his movies are about the evil that men do, as they say in Twin Peaks, or violence against women, or the systematic violence against women. And so textually, that makes a lot of sense for me to look at wow, men have throughout history done horrific things to women and then, play it off like nothing happened, or they make themselves the hero of their own story, which I think Fred does throughout this. So for me, that makes total sense for him to go that route, considering, Inland Empire is definitely about how the Hollywood industry hurts women. Both Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks are about small town violence against women. Yeah. And a lot more beyond that, but that's a prominent theme.
It's a common theme, exactly. Yes. And I love, I assume we're getting into spoilers at this point because this movie is
we're spoiler the whole way through this. So
great. It's from 1997. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, get with the program. I don't know. But there's an incredible moment at the end where I'm just going to refer to as Queen Patricia Arquette she gets up from tryst in the desert with Balthasar Getty. And she just says, you will never have me. Mm-hmm. And it is one of the most powerful moments I've ever seen on screen because it feels because in this film, she feels like the idealized version of what a moviegoer would want. She is the quintessential femme fatale in a movie. And instead of her getting it in the end, she was the bad one, she actually just gets away scot-free. And I feel like that's David Lynch allowing our female protagonist to escape, which is incredible. I love it. I love it so much. I love Renee/Alice. I think she is such a cool, interesting, and really powerful character throughout this entire narrative. And one of the only David Lynch female protagonists who actually gets a chance of maybe not happiness, but to get away from everything. And it makes me happy. I love it. Good job.
It's almost not exactly that in my head that she gets away, but more that the person that believes that the hero doesn't win. And
Yes.
she's kind of the result of it. Because in my head, she's still a figment of his imagination. Yeah. But even within his own reality, she comes down and is like, nah.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the best way I can put it. I
think that you could even say the interpretation that she has the her own body autonomy is even as a figment of his imagination, right? Mm-hmm. Because let's say this is Fred's imagination as like a cool guy, because Fred sucks. He is so boring and such a loser. And so
that was the word I was going to use. Fred's a loser.
Fred is such a fucking loser. And he imagines himself as Pete, this really cool mechanic who gets all the ladies. But then at the end,
hangs out with the mob.
Yeah, hangs out with the mob.
He fixes the mob boss's car.
He's really good with sound. He has great ears. But at the end, even his idealized woman is like, no, I'm good. Thank you so much, but I'm going to do my own thing. Mm-hmm. And that is so interesting and cool to me that I just love the vibe of this film because of it. It makes me very happy. I'm like, yeah, he can die. That's fine. Renee became butterflies somewhere, and that makes me happy. And great. Let her be.
To add on to that, I would say too, like, obviously, in our read of it, and in the movie, like, he killed his wife, and we're seeing Alice as, like, the figment of his imagination. Obviously, it's played by the same actress, so she's kind of, like, in that way, the stand-in for Renee. But I think it's really interesting that, obviously, like, his stand-in for his wife is this, like, sexually promiscuous woman, and I feel like he's trying, like, in his mind, that's what he's made her, to put, like, blame on her.
Because that's what he believed about her for why he killed her.
And that's, exactly. But even in his imagination, like, again, like we said, it's his own, like, brain processing it is shutting that image down. And even if she is, like, a sexually promiscuous woman, she still gets out at the end because, she deserves that agency to do that if she wants to.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely not shaming that.
Oh, no. There's no shame whatsoever in Renee/Alice. And I think that's very important in this movie. There are moments where she fears for herself. You know, she's uncomfortable with the situation she's put in, but it's not in a way that we feel like she doesn't have ownership of herself. Even in the moment where, like, Pete goes to the house and he sees her on the screen, she has agency in that moment because she is opening up this opportunity on purpose for Pete to steal money, which we never hear about again. And I think that's really important and very. I loved hearing you talk about, Hannah, how Queen Patricia Arquette was, uncomfortable with some of the nudity, which is fair. Like, that's a fucking hard thing to do. I mean, I'm a burlesque performer and I still am like, oh, God, I have to put pasties on today. I don't want to do that. But the fact that they made her feel really, really comfortable and really accepted on set goes a really far way for me in how this film is interpreted. Because without that acceptance, without that understanding on set, you can't really have a performance where you're so dedicated to showing this character as being in control. And and for me, Alice/Renee is always in control. I know Renee dies, whatever, but that's because Fred sucks. She doesn't deserve that, and we know it. But I do think that Patricia Arquette is always the leading force in this film. She's always the person who's propelling this story forward.
She's almost, she's always, like, in charge. Even in his fantasy, she's the one that's in charge.
She's got the highest status, yo.
And I guess we are all on the same page that everything, once Pete shows up, is at least textually his fantasy or delusion or dying dream.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as a delusion while he's in jail because that's more pathetic to me than it just being his, like, chemical dying dream.
Yeah, no, I feel.
And I want Fred to be pathetic. Like, Fred is a piece of shit. Pathetic. I want him to be a piece of shit. So, like, the more pathetic I can make him in my head, the better.
I mean,
he's not even very good at the saxophone. Like,
no, he literally
just noise.
It sounds so bad. Also,
I'll
he's out here bragging about playing the fucking tenor sax specifically. Like, he just thinks that everyone should know, like, the way they ask him what instrument he plays, and he's just like, tenor. Bitch, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. You're not
tenor.
Cool.
Is that your
People
voice? Is that your music? Like, I'm confused. Tenor is a lot of different things.
I'll tell you, though, if I was in that club with the strobe lights with him ripping that thing, I'd be going pretty crazy, though. So even if he wasn't good, that looked like a fun time.
It looked
Am I wrong?
Really exhausting to me. Like, gonna be honest, I would have left.
Every David Lynch club I see is pretty wild, though. All right. I mean, even the Roadhouse gets kind of crazy.
Oh, the Roadhouse gets really crazy. What are you talking about?
I wasn't thinking about the pink room. I was specifically the outside. The pink room gets. I'm not going to the pink room.
Okay, just the Roadhouse. Even the Roadhouse.
Just the Roadhouse.
That's a lot for me.
You got the 9-inch nails there. You know.
I know. I like being in bed by 8:30, so I don't want any of this.
Well, okay. So we're not going to the club to see tenor sax, is what we decided.
Absolutely
tenor
not.
sax for me in the club. Not in
Maybe I just like strobe lights.
Oof.
So we did talk somewhat about what this movie means. Can we kind of be brought back to
why we like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's like obviously part of that is that there's such an interesting read to the movie. Obviously, that's a big part of it.
Especially this Hollywood read. I'm loving that. The thing is, I don't know if I can even elaborate on what Britt said, because I was like, yep, nope, that's nailed it right there. Like,
yeah.
It's one of those things where I feel like there are so many small little moments throughout the film where you can find the Hollywood aspect of it, but unless, like, and I don't have a degree in film, so I can't go back through and be like,
most directors don't.
Exactly. I can't go back through and say, like, this is every single reason why I think this is about Hollywood. But I do think that there are a lot of moments throughout that showcase the disparity that David Lynch felt with Hollywood itself, with the way that women are treated in Hollywood, which he expanded upon in both Mulholland Drive and in Inland Empire. And also just like with Pete, I keep coming back to Pete because Fred's a loser, right? But Pete's also kind of a loser. Like,
I know, I was thinking that. I'm like, this is your idealized version of like
Fred,
who you
Fred is
be.
such a loser that he can only imagine himself as a cooler loser.
Literally.
But here's what I think. I feel like Pete is the loser that Hollywood wants. Pete is...
Agreed. Rags to riches kind, works with the mom, cool guy. Yeah, that's very much like a studio note. He needs to be younger, more handsome, although Bill Pullman's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
More handsome. He needs to get the ladies. He needs to be a blue-collar boy. He needs to be likable instantly. He's a good employee. Like, it's all of this is like, we need to sterilize him, and also, you know... We need to make this happen. We need to make the masses happy. And they need to feel relatable to him.
He's a bad boy.
Yeah, he's a bad
boy who's not going to kill someone. Whereas Fred is a normal ass man who's going to kill his wife because he's jealous. Yeah. And that's where the difference is, right? Like Fred should be an everyday family man, but he ends up doing this heinous crime because we all know he fucking killed his wife. Who knows
definitely.
if she was cheating on him or not, but it doesn't matter. She didn't deserve to die no matter what.
I don't think she was. I don't know if it matters. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but I think he's already delusional. He's delusional before he kills her, and that makes even more sense for him to be delusional in jail. He's seeing that this Andy guy, and it's very clear within his delusion, he then makes up an entire story about how she was hired to do porn and or be a escort to these guys and was doing all this stuff, and that's like what her life was before he saved her from all that. And it's like, you're a delusional tenor saxophone player, you fucking loser. Like, sorry.
Even if it wasn't made up, even if she was an escort before, that's fine. The escort's allowed
totally
to
agree.
Like have a life outside of that. But if a person can't get past that, if a person can't get past the fact that their wife might have had relations with another person, like, I guess fuck you. Like, you have a problem and you need to get it sorted out. And Fred never did. But then we have Pete, who is he's wearing the leather jacket. He comes from the wrong side of the tracks.
His dad's Gary Busey.
His dad is Gary Busey, and my favorite Gary
and
Busey
he's cool.
role ever. So cool.
Probably mine too.
His
parents
mechanic.
are like, you need to go party with your friends. I think that'll be good for you.
It's so good for you. He's a mechanic who only puts in like sound systems in cars. Like he doesn't do anything else. He's just so cool. And it feels like what Hollywood wants you to like, right? It feels like don't think too hard about Pete. Just accept Pete. He's able to, please his wife, whereas Fred can't. He's able to land Alice, whereas Fred could never land Alice. But then all of a sudden, oh my God, something happens. And this guy goes headfirst into a coffee table and we don't know what to do. Poor Pete. Whereas I'm like, yeah, Pete, you didn't kill the guy, but also why did you agree to do this? That was your own fault. Ugh, I don't know. I think this is so ripe for so many interpretations, but I really love the Hollywood one. That's the one that I'm really sticking with right now.
There's a classic meme that applies to Pete that I really like to repeat, so excuse the vulgarity, but is my dick has led me to places I wouldn't go with a gun.
I mean, it's true.
That's Pete.
That's Pete. That's Pete in a nutshell.
You really nailed it.
Oh, Pete. Wait.
I see it more when you start looking at but when you start looking at the other casting, like Richard Pryor as his boss, who's like cool, and you can go off with the gangsters. Like I'm seeing it even more. Also, like he's out in sunny LA where everything's beautiful now. Like that is, the idealized. Here's what the studio notes want.
Yes,
and Lynch is like, no, I want to make my spooky movie about a guy killing his wife and being a bad person, but you're gonna ruin it with all this shit. All right. Well, here's what you're gonna get then.
Well, there's also moments where like Renee is taking her makeup off in a mirror, but then the next scene we see her in, she has a full face of makeup. So it's kind of the idea that yes.
I'm sorry. I have to say we watched this with my mom. Hannah bought this for me on Blu-ray for Christmas on Blu-ray because physical media rules. And my mom hadn't seen it. So this was kind of a fun mom watch. But she pointed that out. She was like, oh, she's still got a full face of makeup on, kind of like it was like a mistake. And it definitely wasn't. I think you're entirely right. And I was like, yeah.
I think it's because she's in a movie, right?
That is so funny.
She's in a movie, and then it's showcasing that she is an actor. So she's recast as Alice because even though Renee is dead, the actor playing Renee is not. So might as well put her in a different movie that the Hollywood system would prefer, which is Alice in Pete's story. I don't know.
No, even more, you look at it like the very end where Bill Pullman comes, he stands up and he's naked and it's him, not Pete. You make the point of Pete being a loser. Lynch is basically being like, my loser's not any different than your loser. Like your loser is just shinier looking. Like they're both the same at heart.
He just has a cooler
that's
name.
So fun. He just got a cooler name than Fred.
Balthazar Getty.
Oh.
That name it's so crazy.
All right. Well, okay, I like this read, but we do need to talk about some other things that we like and dislike,
Absolutely.
and if anything about this film. So let's rewind.
I got this. Okay, I love the build up to this film and obviously the conclusion. The scenes that involve our boy Fred are probably my preferred sections of the movie. Probably because he is such a loser, and I also find Bill Pullman more compelling than Balthazar Getty, to be fair.
It's also very tension-filled throughout.
Yeah, but
leading up to that, and you're kind of getting your bearings on what's going on.
Yeah, I think the setup, though, to him killing her is so well done. Like, he's doubtful of her staying home to read instead of going to his show. Then she doesn't answer the phone when he calls her, so then he's suspicious. And then he kind of thinks he sees her, but she's clearly at home asleep. He's having dreams about killing her and her face being covered by the mystery man. There's all these creepy hallway shots. I just think all the build up is so great. And then the videos start happening And this dumbass says, I like to remember things my own way, not necessarily the way they happened, as to why he doesn't like video cameras, kind of like setting up
his delusion
and like his reality of what happened, because he doesn't want to remember it exactly how it happened. I just think all of that is so well built too.
Oh, and don't forget about the whole thing. I think this might happen later, but with the mystery man being like...
in the house.
Being in the house. He's like, I'm already in your house.
We met at your house, don't you remember?
Because the mystery man is clearly... maybe I shouldn't say clearly, but to me, is this embodiment of either this evil or this desire to kill his wife.
Yeah.
And he's already let him in.
Do you think he's actually just him? Do you think he's just Fred? Like Fred's own psyche coming to...
He's part of Fred's psyche.
Yeah. I think he's part of Fred's psyche.
You think of, like, look back at when he is coming through the crowd at the party and nobody notices him, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he's just coming forward with his cool kabuki makeup on and you're like, God damn, that's so scary looking. And it's just... I do think that he's just a figment of Fred's imagination. Like most of this film, honestly.
I kind of like to, it scares me a little more for me to imagine that the mystery man could show up to anybody who has this desire.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Kind of like, I'm not going to say any more beyond this, but like Bob in Twin Peaks being, is he real? Is he the evil that men do? Or, and also, there's more to it than just that. People out there know what I'm talking about, but like,
totally agree with that. Yeah.
It's very similar where this thing could show up to you if this desire or this hate or this evil is in your heart.
But
that scares me more.
I think
it's a creation of his, you're right?
I think it's kind of interesting to think of like Bob as its own separate figure. And this is one person's version of Bob. Right? Like,
yes.
This is what this might be. Who knows? Maybe this is the cinematic universe of David Lynch, and this is just a version of Bob in a new setting.
All I know is we're not going to talk about Judy. All right. only a couple people are going to understand that reference who listen to this. But
no Judy, no cream corn.
He's a son. He's a son of Judy, similar to Bob. That's what we think. But
I do to. Your point of bringing up the scene, I do really like that scene. We met at your house, don't you remember? And then he literally calls him and he's there and he says, you invited me. Mm-hmm. Which I do think, like he let in these really deep, dark, evil thoughts and desires. Like he invited them in.
Or created them.
Yeah. And then I do like that later, I believe it's the mystery man who says, Alice who, her name is Renee, and your name, what the fuck is your name? Because he's got his identity and who he is and like what is the reality that he wants to picture and imagine so twisted up.
And this is the idea of like, this is his delusion, yet the mystery man doesn't go away. Those desires, you can't just hide those desires and that thing you did, how much you want to. You need to live with this nastiness and this thing you didn't. And like looking back at the OJ thing, I get kind of like angry thinking about that because OJ fucking did it. Like we know OJ did it.
We all know he did.
But he went through that and like in a fugue state and put that stupid glove on and was like, oh, it doesn't fit and got away with a heinous crime that I obviously is in this movie portrayed similarly with basically her limbs being cut off in this situation.
Which is
basically
my
decapitated
moment.
His wife.
Yeah, no, my moment in the movie that does like genuinely scare me like that was seeing Renee dismembered. Mm-hmm. It's very quick, but it also is the moment where my jaw drops and I go like, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that.
This is like Lynch at, I almost think, his angriest. Being like, you fucking did this thing, own up to it. And that's the same thing with OJ. It's like, you don't get to just walk away and live in this fake world, fake reality you built for yourself. Apparently OJ did, which is insane. But Lynch is angry about it. Yeah. I mean, he did go to jail for something else, but still, he never owned up to it. I mean, the "If I Did It" whole thing, but book that he wrote. But like, that's what's it's so interesting how I think clearly angry Lynch is with this, even if it was just subconscious.
But I also think that's the fallibility of the system, right? Like,
yeah,
OJ didn't serve time for murdering somebody, allegedly. We don't know for sure. Like he was acquitted by the courts for criminal, the criminal courts. And we don't know if Fred did it. We haven't seen Fred do it, but it's all alleged, but we still know. Right?
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is them trying to pretend like the OJ thing. It was just so, how can somebody commit that crime, that heinous, and just go on normally? And I think that's what Fred does, and that's where I think that anger kind of comes from. And Lynch is like, that couldn't be me because he's such a loving person. Like, his whole theme of everything is like, love will prevail. Hopefully, love is enough. Yeah. Oof.
Lynch said, like, when he was discussing this film, how he wanted to kind of look into how a person could commit a crime and just continue living. Like something heinous and continue going about their day. And I think he does a really good job of it in this. You hope that they get caught, but for the most part, they, like a lot of people who have done this, they don't. And that's pretty shitty, to be perfectly honest.
I would like to mention something else that I really like.
You just say what we'll like, and then Britt and I will riff off of that.
That's perfect.
We're just gonna go on a tangent.
I love that we don't get any trial. We don't get any lead up to his guilty verdict. It really does just go from like his wife is dead and dismembered to guilty, death by execution, walking him through the hallways and stairwell of the jail.
And I think that's because Lynch wants us to try to be in his shoes and side with him for as long as we can. I don't think he wants us to by the end, but I think we would check out from the movie if we hated him. But now we're like, wait, we didn't see anything. Oh, he's going through a portal. Like, he didn't do it maybe? Like, and we're seeing this whole movie through Fred's narration, which is, what's the word I'm looking for? Unreliable narration, and then also his delusion. So I think that makes total narrative sense to do it that way.
I agree. And he also quite often talked about, like, as far as I've read, he didn't really know about a psychogenic fugue during the writing process, but after the fact came to it. But it was, in a lot of the interviews with David Lynch, he talked about psychogenic fugues, which is like a symptom of a person who has memory loss and travels and wanders around, leaving wherever they are for something new, right? And creating a new life. And I think it's very interesting that this wasn't his initial idea with it, but found it once he wrote the movie itself. So these moments throughout where we don't see Fred's trial because he probably forgot about it. He probably blacked it out. He doesn't know what happened at that time. He's just going from moment to moment. And then from that moment going to Pete, the coolest person he can think of. My God, I hope I think of somebody cooler than Pete, but whatever, it's fine. It's so interesting that he is taking this idea and he was able to connect that between these two characters of Pete and Fred, where they do feel so separate, but also like the same person at the same time. David Lynch he was a master.
On another level, and it's upsetting because I have not seen, there are other surrealist films that are surrealist, but there's no one else that's Lynchian in my head.
Well, Lynchian came from David Foster Wallace. Like, that's a very specific term.
Tell me who that is. Now I'm confused.
Oh, David Foster Wallace was an English professor who wrote the Infinite Jest, and he wrote Supposedly Fun Things I'll Never Do Again, which is a book of essays, and he actually went to Lost Highway as an author, not as a journalist, because he wasn't a journalist. And after like going to the Lost Highway set for a couple of days, he coined the term Lynchian.
I didn't know that. That's good history.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. He wrote a really cool article. Like David Foster Wallace is a tough read. I read him when I was like 19. I don't think I'll ever read Infinite Jest again, but I highly recommend it for anybody who hasn't. So yeah,
I have heard great things and I have not read it. So,
yeah.
But that's really cool to know.
Yeah, very good.
I guess my point though is like, it's upsetting because I think people do make good surrealist films, but I have not found someone that's been able to do what Lynch has done with these stretch of movies, really his whole stretch of movies.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me very sad. At least I have these ones to go back to. And at least I always have Twin Peaks to go back to. But it's like, I think what you're saying about him being a genius, being able to do the surrealist thing, being able to do all of these conflicting themes and these really compelling stories is hard to do. And clearly he was the only guy that could, which is why while he was alive, I was saying he could very easily be our best living director. And now that he's gone, I look back and say he maybe was the best director. He could be, he's in the top 10, you know, like. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's my number one, so.
Good.
Yeah, between him and Satoshi Kon, like,
I think he means the most to me of any director at this point in my life, is what I would say. There are still some people that did so much. I think as growing up with Spielberg as a kid, it's hard to look past what he has done. But I think he had way more time to do it and way more money and, kind of had those blank checks always. So Lynch did not.
Yeah, I mean, David Lynch, for the last years of his life, you know, after Twin Peaks: The Return, he couldn't get a single thing off the ground. It didn't matter what studio he shipped it out to. They all told him no.
Yeah, fuck Netflix for that one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely insane.
That's
Scorsese's having the same problem now, which is
fucking insane. It's Scorsese. Like, I'm sorry, I don't love all Scorsese films, but it's fucking Scorsese. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants $800 million, give it to him. Like,
again, it's like one of the current best living directors. Get shit.
Agreed.
It's such bullshit. Like, what does that mean for the arts for us moving forward?
Yeah. And as someone who's a Megalopolis enjoyer, I don't know if I would say I think Megalopolis is good, but I am an enjoyer of that movie.
Oh my God. Can you please do an episode on Megalopolis?
On Megalopolis. Hannah hasn't seen it yet.
Oh my God. Hannah, you haven't seen it?
I'm pitching this for an 1001 by 1 episode.
Oh my God. Yes.
It's insane. I don't know how to explain it. But my point is, like, he sold his fucking business so he can make a movie. This is Francis Ford Coppola, one of the most important directors of all time, that's out here like, I really want to push the industry forward. I'm going to make something out there and weird, and I'm going to sell my business to do it. And then everyone looks at him and is like, oh, he lost a bunch of money making it. He doesn't give a shit if he lost a bunch of money making it. He tried something, and the fact that we have failed as a nation at making art or supporting art when that man has to sell his business to give us another film. So. Well,
you get people like Scorsese who can't get a movie funded, apparently, and then you have a $300 million movie like the Electric State on Netflix. That's a piece of shit. Like,
that has to be a tax write-off.
Perfect example. That is exactly where my brain went.
Yeah, I'm confused because
no, this is Netflix's fault.
Yeah,
I blame them for so much.
Honestly, I think it's streaming services' fault. Like, we are in a very weird space in time. Oh no, what just happened?
Oh, you're right.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, my computer just turned off real quick, and I was like, what is going on?
You're here.
Anyways, we can cut that. But we're in a really weird space and time with streaming versus going to see films in the cinema. And and they don't want us to leave our houses. They want to force us to watch things on the screen, and they don't want to put anything into something interesting or new. They're like, oh, this is already a property that people have paid for. I guess we'll put $200 million into it and hope to God we make money. If not, I guess we're all fucked, right? It's a bizarre time to be a film person.
And it's even scarier. I don't want to get into this too much, but like that they would be very happy just making AI movies for us in the future.
Oh, yes, they would.
And
yes, they would.
People are very anti-art, and I think there are a lot of theories on why corporations are anti-art and why certain people are anti-art. And I could recommend a lot of good video essays about it, but one that I watched really recently, and the title of the video, I need to find it, but it was basically like Joe Rogan is dead or something. And this person basically argued that anybody who is for AI art is already dead. Like they are gone. Yeah. Who they are is gone. And I was like, it was very compelling to me. And I was like, you're right. And this is like what the oligarchs that run this country want, because they want our influences gone. And,
I think that's
but
fair.
again, I don't want to like go too much because this was a really good 30-minute video essay. I'll find it and plug it in a second. But
I also feel like if David Lynch was around right now, he'd probably feel the same way.
I agree. I think, well, look at Twin Peaks: The Return and you already know how he feels. Oh, the video was called You Are an Artist. It was by Leadhead. And the thumbnail was, this is a video essay about Joe Rogan's soul, which I think is really funny.
Joe Rogan doesn't have a soul.
Well, that was the point, is they were like, Joe Rogan is dead. Because they were he was listening to like AI rap music, basically.
Oh my God.
And they were like, he's dead. And your family member that is really into AI videos, they're dead. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. But it gave me goosebumps, so I had to plug it.
I mean, that just makes me think of I have no mouth and I must scream. So,
Great point. I don't know if Hannah knows that one.
I know what that
is.
is.
Okay, good. I was going to say, are you uncultured? I haven't read it, so I don't know, but I know about it.
I know about it.
Hannah's very.
Did you play the video game?
I did not play the video game, but I did read it.
There's a point and click video game from.
I am aware. I've watched other people play it, but
that counts.
I'm not really into the point and clicks, so it's not my thing.
That's the one thing I can do.
Yeah, no Disco Elysium for you then. My favorite game.
Oh no, I have that, and like I will play that at some point. I promise. Everything about Disco Elysium seems very, very cool. So
you know that there's a skill in that game called Indolent Empire.
Oh yes.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. I would say if you aren't sold already, I'm just working on it. All right.
Oh no! I'm totally sold. We've owned it for a while. I think we just got like the remastered version of it. Got
it. Cool. All right, sorry, I'll get back into this movie. We went on.
Is there anything that we don't like about this movie?
I think I said mine earlier. I don't think it's as good as Mulholland Drive. I think there are other Lynch movies I like better. And I think part of it is that while I am watching this, there are a lot of like, I don't want to call it like highs and lows, but it's like I'm pulled out sometimes, and I feel a little bit of a drag.
Yes.
And maybe that's my brain is broken, or maybe that's just because I expect other things from him. And I think that drag hurts my viewing experience. However, once that movie is over, I don't care about it. I'm like, no, this is fantastic. Yeah. This is still like a masterpiece.
What part do you feel like drags? Is there like a specific section or?
No, it's in waves.
Okay.
There are parts during both the Bill Pullman section and during the Delusion Pete section. Okay. So
yeah, I only feel that
during the Pete section.
Yeah.
The Bethalazar section.
Yeah.
I think so. In the David Lynch ranking, we discussed how we kind of wish that Justin Theroux had been cast as Pete instead of Balthazar Getty.
Oh, that would be sick.
Because I'm not a fan of Balthazar Getty. I don't think he embodies Pete very well. I don't think he is particularly interesting. I think it's the people around him that makes his section electric.
Definitely.
And so for me, the middle portion of the film before Renee is like, let's go steal from this guy, and then he ends up headfirst into a coffee table, I find that drags a bit. Other than when Mr. Eddie tailgates the guy, like incredible. Like no, it's perfect film. But like that as a short film would be incredible. But for me, anything with Balthazar Getty is very difficult until the ending, until that last third of the film, and then I'm fully into it. So honestly, for me, it's Balthazar Getty. Like could have been Justin Theroux. And
Theroux in this
better.
Would have been electric.
Right?
But at the same time, I'm almost worried that in my head, it would almost be like too tongue-in-cheek because I think Theroux is so funny.
I worry that he's actually too
good. Yeah, he is. Well, he's good at playing a loser, though.
I know.
I've seen plenty of stuff.
I fear he's still too cool.
I think like almost from
think of him in those slouchy pants and shirt and the fucked up hair in Mulholland Drive.
I think of him in The Leftovers, and he could play a loser. And like,
I know.
But I think it wouldn't have mattered back then. I almost think watching it in the year of almost 2026, when we're recording, I would have almost seen it as like too meta in my head of like, Justin Theroux, this is funny. I don't know why, but
I get that, but I still wish it was Justin.
I think I do too. I think it makes total sense, especially for he's got that. With everything, all dialogue in Lynch being very heightened, I think Theroux pulls that off very, very well.
Yes, I agree.
The demeanor. And I even think looking at a show like The Leftovers, he's pulling it off there as well.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, I agree. Maybe that's my hot take. Like, maybe that's the thing that doesn't work for me.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I was going to say, it's not a hot take because I agree with you, and my hot take was also going to be about Balthazar Getty.
So
this man is getting slammed.
My hot take is, why is Patricia Arquette not in anything anymore?
That's not a hot take. That's a cold take. That's a freezing cold take. You idiot.
Sorry. My hot take is what happened. I don't know. It's not even a take anymore. My question
she's in Severance
to God,
and she's
why?
Amazing, so...
I didn't realize we haven't watched Severance yet, so...
Oh my God, she's in Severance and she's so good.
We have a lot of shit to watch, and everyone's like, watch Severance. I was like, yeah, I know, and then I forget.
Season 1 is incredible. Season 2 is fine, but Season 1, so good.
We'll get there.
Since we're at
Hannah's starting her Twin Peaks rewatch starting January 1st. Or sorry, her Twin Peaks first watch starting January 1st.
Yes. So that's my New Year's resolution.
I expect
to watch Twin
and
Peaks.
we might do a couple bonus episodes. We might do a couple bonus episodes. So we will call you up if we need a co-host for a bonus episode, which we probably will. I know we will. Yeah. We have to decide if we want to do it and if it'll actually get traction. So viewers, comment down below if you want a Twin Peaks bonus episode.
We're trying to figure out how to format it and how much to
market it. And how much to cover per episode and
all that jazz.
How long the episode should be. All that.
We'll get there.
Incredible.
But that's us soft launching the idea.
I love this idea. I'm very much a fan. I will promote it, no problem.
Well,
I can't wait to be on it.
Yep.
Okay, so Britt, you said your hot take is recast him with Justin Theroux.
Yes.
Or do you have another hot take?
But I also, my other one is that I love the fact that this movie is about how Hollywood fucked David Lynch. It's one of my favorite theories that I read, that David Lynch, basically, he was, after Wild at Heart won the Palme d'Or, after Blue Velvet, after the beginning of Twin Peaks, everybody was like, oh, this guy is going to be the next big thing. And then Wild at Heart, even though it won the Palme d'Or, didn't do very well in the box office. The second season of Twin Peaks didn't do very well. And then he had another show that I can't even remember the name of. I haven't watched it. That was basically canceled after six weeks. And so this was like the theory of Hollywood dying in David Lynch's eyes. Like, this is how David Lynch felt about Hollywood. And I think that's interesting. And I like to look at this movie that way. So that's my big hot take, that this is David Lynch's fuck you to Hollywood.
I'm on board.
And then you also look at Fire Walk With Me, kind of similarly, like not the best reception, but he's also kind of like, fuck all you guys for not understanding my show. Here's what it's really about.
Exactly. And not only that, but even Mulholland Drive. I know that a lot of people, a lot of Mulholland Drive was like Audrey from Twin Peaks Takes Hollywood. But it's also like Mulholland Drive is about how Cheryl Lee was treated in Hollywood. And I think that's a really interesting road to go down. Because she was treated like shit.
All of Lynch's stuff is kind of giving someone a finger and then also being like, let me embrace you in a warm hug, though. Here's the right way.
And also saying women deserve to be treated with respect.
Well,
except for Wild at Heart.
Beautiful.
I said this in a previous episode, and this should have been my 15-second summary, is being a woman watching a David Lynch movie must hit like crack. Oh. I said that for something. I was like, damn. I'm sure it hits it, but like also you are represented well. It's someone that clearly cares about you in a way that you didn't expect a director or person that you never knew could. Honestly, and it's very kind of cool.
We need Britt to be our not tiebreaker, but the debate we were having with Jason's.
Oh.
Do you think David Lynch is?
Hold up.
Hold on.
We need to back this up.
No.
Okay,
I'm going to just frame it. You can add in whatever you need to justify the topic. Do you think David Lynch is an exceptionally horny man or asexual?
Oh, he's
You have to
exceptionally
pick one.
horny.
Thank you.
He's
Thank you,
exceptionally
Britt.
horny, but he also respects his partners quite a lot.
Yes, that's what I said. Because I said part of his secret sauce is he's a little bit of a. Well, I think I used the word pervert, but like not in a bad way.
He's
you
not
know?
a pervert.
Like
I
he's
don't agree with
he's a little
pervert.
voyeuristic. You know, he's the same way Hideo Kojima is. Like in my head.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's a little bit
he's,
of that.
He's super horny, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being super horny if you're really
Yeah, that's
respectful
what I
of your
said.
partners. And I feel like he's probably he was probably pretty respectful of his partners. We haven't had any stories otherwise.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, you do you. Have fun.
I'm just glad you're on my side because I said that
Yes.
like I kind of see him as an asexual
No,
being. I was like, you guys are out of your
Jason-
fucking mind.
Jason
Like
was,
I was
dead set, and he justified it well. So I
no. Well, he
That's
justified it in a way
fine.
that I also thought he was like, no, I think he just appreciates like beauty, and I was like, yeah, but he's also horny.
No,
I was like, yeah,
have
he
you guys-
appreciates women for who they are and for how they look.
Have you
Like,
guys read his quote about The Exorcist? He
no.
literally talks about how it's like having an orgasm. So, no.
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
he's very horny.
justification for horny.
All right,
Yeah,
Okay.
funny.
sorry.
This is the next. Yeah, well, he's unfortunately not around for us to ask. But.
Yeah, sorry, David.
Probably
But
wouldn't.
this-
We'd ask him and he could say no. He wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. No.
respond.
He would say, "Can you give us an answer on that?" And he would go,
No.
He would, I'm not going to elaborate. It's up to you to
Exactly.
decide.
Yes. My hot takes. I have a warm take.
Warm
First.
take.
Ooh.
Okay.
The zip sweater that he wears in the beginning of the film. He
Fred
makes it
wears.
look exceptionally lame. I like the sweater on a different person, zipped up further.
Hannah, I love the fact that I think you and I talked about how lame that sweater was.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
No, literally.
we
did.
were texting while watching the movie and going, that fucking sweater
Fucking
is so
zip
lame.
sweater. But if it were on a different dude and it wasn't zipped all the way fucking down, I like the sweater.
Even if it was zipped all the way down on a different person, it would probably
Yeah,
look hot.
it'd be
But
so
on
different.
Fred, he was such a loser that, no, thank you.
You know, I was also realizing I talked about while watching the movie how ugly their house was, and I'm realizing, oh yeah, it's because Fred's a fucking loser. Like,
Actually, so I heard that David Lynch actually built a bunch of the furniture that was in that house.
well, the furniture, it's not the individual pieces that are bad.
It's
The
aesthetic
layout
puts
and the
together.
aesthetic of the whole house that is bad.
It's very
Well, it's
sterile.
also hard
Yes.
to get a feel for it.
It's a
The
limo
way it's
space.
shot too,
Yeah.
like I mean, which is deliberate. The hallway shots are insane. They're so
Oof.
good and scary.
Also, the outside of that house is ugly as well. So
Well, that's
that's
just
my
like,
hot take.
That's just like the LA near the planetarium. It's not particularly pretty.
Good to know. I have not
I've
been to
been
LA
there.
yet. But when we
Oh.
go, we will be visiting his grave. So we've talked about that
obviously.
before. We're going to be leaving him a little pack of ciggies and a Diet Coke, probably.
I'm going in May, so I should do the same.
Oh, that's exciting.
We have friends who live in LA, so we go a lot.
Okay, very cool.
My hot take is Balthazar Getty was better in Charmed,
Oh my God, 100%, Hannah.
and I
Charmed
barely
forever.
remember. I barely remember that, but I know he was. Better.
I don't know him from anything else.
I watched
He was
Charmed,
in-
so
Charmed was incredible. I am the sun, I am the air, I am human, and I need to be loved. Yeah, no, I love Charmed so much, and he was definitely better. But I think he kind of sucks. That's what I've decided.
It's just not my dude.
No.
It's not my dude.
I got no hot take I can think of. So hit us with these this or that.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Brit first. I'm gonna give you a movie, so it's gonna be Lost Highway or said movie, and you
Great.
just answer quick as hell which movie you like better for you personally.
Can do.
So no elaboration, just meh, meh, meh. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Lost Highway or Inland Empire?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Blue Velvet?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Vanilla Sky?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Eyes Wide Shut?
Lost Highway for sure. I fucking hate Eyes Wide Shut.
Lost Highway or Memento?
Lost Highway.
getting dumb now. Lost Highway or Gone Girl?
Oh, Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Shutter Island?
Lost Highway. I'm sorry, Hannah.
I know, that's okay. Lost Highway or Eraserhead?
Lost Highway.
So that was similar films on Letterboxd.
Oh,
I'm so boring. I'm so boring. The last one was not as boring. Listen to Cure. I actually did divert, but that one was all Lost Highway for me.
I fear I will have a similar pattern when I answer, so I might not know what you've been doing. But Matt,
scared.
We're gonna do you. Ready?
No, yeah.
Lost Highway or Inland Empire?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Blue Velvet?
Lost Highway, but I like
No. Lost Highway or you haven't seen that, Memento?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Gone Girl?
I would love to say Gone Girl, but Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Shutter Island?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Eraserhead?
Eraserhead.
Bum, bum.
So I went with that one. Eraserhead, I enjoyed so much on first viewing. This is one that I didn't have to feel like I needed to watch multiple times or sit on. Eraserhead just spoke to me. So okay, you ready? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have Eraserhead at I think 7 or 6 of Lynch, whereas Lost Highway is number 2.
Lost Highway is also my number 2. And you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't ask Mulholland Drive because we all know that's
We all know.
number ones. So that would have been
There's my
dumb.
one.
Where's
If
Mulholland
we're not
Drive?
counting,
It's my
if we're
number
not
one
counting
movie.
The Return, The Return's not a movie, no matter what Lynch says. So
It's an 18-hour movie. What are you talking about, Matt? Bite your fucking
you know
tongue.
he says that, right?
Yes.
Or said that. Which is such a complaint I have about modern TV. So when he said that, I was like, no, shh, don't say that. Please. Okay. Are you ready, Hannah?
Yes.
Lost Highway or Inland Empire?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Blue Velvet?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Memento?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Gone Girl?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Shutter Island?
Lost Highway.
Lost Highway or Eraserhead?
Lost Highway.
Whoa! So Eraserhead was only above.
With the caveat that a different day I would probably say Gone Girl. That's such a toss up. I love Gone Girl.
I really wanted to say Gone Girl
much.
too.
I love that book. I love that movie. That Gone Girl fucking rocks. I think it's perfect. But
I love it.
But Lost Highway's just doing something completely different that we praise. Also, Lost Highway is a better made movie than Shutter Island, but I do have a particular passion for that movie, but it's probably at this point more nostalgia than anything.
Comparing
reached out and you were like,
a lot of Lynch's
please
movies.
love
Sorry,
it as much
my
as
bad.
me.
Sorry, Britt.
No one does.
No, it was
No
just
one does.
Hannah reached out at one point and was like, please appreciate this as much as me. And I was like, I don't. I'm so sorry, Hannah.
Well,
I
no one
adore
does.
you, but
It was the
I like it.
it was the Daylight, the song that's at the end of Hamnet.
Yes.
That
Yes,
I
that's it.
compare
One from
in
Arrival.
different films, and it's simply better in Shutter Island. I don't know what to tell
It's
you.
also simply better in Arrival.
Yes, I agree with this, but I think Shutter Island is debatably
Oh,
the best.
you gonna talk shit on Arrival, Britt? Please.
oh no, I love Arrival. I think it's really
Okay,
good.
good.
I
Me
was
too.
going to say I haven't seen Hamnet yet. I've read it and it's incredible. So the book is amazing. I don't know about the movie.
It's good.
That's not my
I don't know
favorite.
how to explain. I honestly don't even know how to explain how I feel about it.
So we
Just
don't
see it.
have
I
to.
won't. I was gonna say one thing. Blue Velvet is so hard because Blue Velvet's so much more easily digestible than his other
agree.
ones, but
Agreed.
it's not as good. But then on some days, I'm just sometimes I just want Blue Velvet.
Well, and that's why-
Blue Velvet's much easier
And
to go
that's
down.
why some days I would say Gone Girl.
Yeah,
But today is not that day. Simply
feeling
not.
spicy today.
I'm feeling spicy.
But I know,
You're
I know
correct.
for me, Blue Velvet's at the lower end of of his movies for me, which there really is
it's
no.
number 3 for me.
Oh wow! Well, there really is no low end. That's the thing. I don't even like comparing his movies. So right,
Dune
I like everything.
Dune should.
I haven't
be
seen
last.
it. Haven't seen it, so I don't have to worry.
Oh my god, no! You need to watch Dune. Oh,
I plan
please.
to.
Please watch
I haven't
Dune.
seen
It's so
Elephant Man yet
bad.
either. Those are my two that I
Oh,
haven't seen.
Elephant
Dune
Man's
and Elephant Man.
genuinely just an incredible film. It's
I've heard
really
great
good.
things. Those are
Dune
my
is
last
trash.
two I need to watch still. So
Dune is trash in a good way. You'll have fun watching this trash, but it's trash.
I'm excited about it. Okay, well, do we want to rate this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
We did pretty good. Not too many tangents.
So many tangents. What are you fucking talking about?
All right. Can I just go back to back on my
go.
regular scale and my Dalton scale?
scale.
Okay. This I'm giving a 9 out of 10, mostly because Mulholland Drive is a 10 out of 10. And for the Dalton scale, from a -5 to +5, this is a +5 film. See this movie. It's important. It makes you... I think it's one of the lesser watched of his because a lot of the other ones are more digestible or more easily accessible, and I think it deserves its praise.
Agree. Britt?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm giving a Lost Highway an 8.5 out of 10. I love this film. I love it with like each viewing even more. It's cool. It's sexy. It's brutal. Queen Patricia Arquette has all the power, but Balthazar Getty, that middle section for me, just kind of is harder to get through. So that's why it's got to be an 8.5 out of 10. And then I'd give it a 3 out of 5 to watch, because I really don't think this is for everybody. And if you don't like it, it's going to make me sad. So I'm not going to force you to watch it. But if you do watch it, I hope you like it.
I'm so opposite on these scales. I'm like, I don't care if it's not for you. You just sit down and put the TV on. You know?
I love that.
What's that? I lied. I lied. I don't have Netflix holding up gun. You're watching Inland Empire.
Okay. On my 1 to 10 scale, I'm going to go with a 9.
Nice.
And I had the urge to give it additional decimal points, but I can't do that because of the Balthazar Getty section.
Yep.
And on the Dalton scale of a -5 to 5, I'm going to go with like a 3.8. I love this movie. I want people to watch it, but because it's just simply not for everybody, and I fear a lot of people.
Lynch is for the
process
people. Lynch is for the children.
Lynch for president.
No.
Yes.
We would have been so much better off.
He could have just given his little weather reports every day from the Oval Office.
It's Friday.
Posted videos on how to repair pants.
Yep.
I love that man.
Me too.
Yeah, I just...
All right.
Oh, shit.
Final
That's such a
question.
great idea for a sitcom as Lynch's president.
Final question before we wrap up. This would have been a really good icebreaker, and I forgot to ask it, so here we are.
Okay.
You're going to a David Lynch-themed costume party. What do you dress as? Go.
Oh,
Britt's probably
Laura
been to one.
Palmer. She's dead, wrapped in plastic. Easy. Like, I'm going to be Laura Palmer, dead, wrapped in plastic.
That's what I told Hannah to be for our David Lynch
Well,
party.
I haven't
actually.
watched Twin Peaks yet, so
Yeah.
maybe I will want to do that. We are going to have that will be our costume theme for 2026 Halloween, and my current desire is to be Justin Theroux in Mulholland Drive. I love his fucking outfit so much. It's so good, but I might change my mind after watching Twin Peaks, so we'll see.
I'm going to name 2 because I think dressing as Fred with the zip-down sweater without a shirt on would be really funny.
Yeah.
And the saxophone,
I think,
right?
I
and the
see it
saxophone,
for you.
of course. I'm going to give. I've always wanted to go as Agent Cooper, but I don't have hair, so I think I would go as Harry S. Truman and just wear a cowboy hat and grow my beard out and get a little flannel.
That's pretty
and,
good.
I think I would probably go as Sheriff Truman.
I will have to say, for my best friend who went to go see Mulholland Drive, she would 100% go as Billy Ray Cyrus. Yeah, I just have to put that out for Olivia. Love you so much, lady.
As long as I get some double R Diner outfits, I'll be happy.
I mean, I'm pretty lucky because I live near Tweedy's where the R&R was, so I can go up to Snohomish anytime to go eat at the diner.
Well, when we go out that way for Pacific Northwest, that's like one of my requests is that we go there.
Obviously.
And then so we will call you up when we're out there and we can get lunch.
That'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah,
come hang out in
I-
West Seattle. We'll go to
I
Snohomish.
pitched this as one of our year trips, and you said, no, you dumb bitch. So
Whoa! I don't think I was quoted saying "No, you dumb bitch."
Wow.
But
no, well, I'm calling you a dumb bitch because you said no. I had 5 trip pitches.
this is like worse
for
than
long.
saying the mystery man's entering my home. That's what you're accusing me of. That's what everyone's gonna think.
For sure.
Hannah's just
How
staring at me
dare you,
silently.
Matt? I'm mad at you now. Jesus.
The
We should
audience
all be
is
mad
mad.
at Matt.
I've already invited him.
Okay. Britt, tell everyone where to find you one last time.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm with 1001 by 1, so you can find us at 1001 by 1 on Letterboxd, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, and sometimes we're on Facebook. If you want to find me specifically, and if you want some like random, obscure, weird foreign film, find me at Britsby Hobnob on all the same places. I'd love to chat. And thank you both so much for having me again. And I can't wait to be back for Twin Peaks.
Yeah. When it happens, hey, we got that on Blu-ray too. So
Yes.
Z through A, whatever it's called.
I'm so ready.
Incredible.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. This was fun as always.
So
and everyone out there, make sure to go give 1001 by 1 a follow and follow Britt because she's cool and funny.
Oh, thank you.
And has good movie takes.
It's
Thank
true.
you. You're so kind.
And same for us. Go follow us. We're cool and funny and have
Absolutely.
good movie takes too.
Super good movie takes.
Yeah.
So, but that's about it. So I've been Matt Hanna.
I'm Hannah.
Stay tuned.
And
Stay scared.
Thank you for listening to Horror Hour with the Hannas. Make sure to listen to future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever else you can find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube, where we post episodes and shorts. You can follow us at Horror Hour with the Hannas on TikTok and Instagram, as well as at Horror Hour on Blue Sky for more content. If you like the podcast, please follow and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Happy hauntings!